Jeez.
Oh no!
That's how you treat all your toys. Can't get you anything nice. Speaking of breaking things, I heard you guys kept breaking controllers when you were playing the game Call of Duty 4.
Blow the charge.
Breaching! Breaching!
Go, go, go!
Clear!
Remember that time when you
I
guys
didn't-
insisted on playing on the hardened difficulty?
I didn't break any controllers, but I kicked some boxes around, and I generally got very angry. I know you did.
You got way through. You got through it way faster than I did. I must have spent what 5 hours on that.
I heard you
5
on the
hours.
other side of the office blowing up.
But seriously, so when the guys from Activision and Infinity Ward came by, they insisted that we play the game on hardened difficulty, which is like the equivalent of heroic, to enhance the fun. But I think there's a few points where that actually takes away from the fun, because the game, like the past games, it's very scripted still. I mean, I think you got more, and during the single player campaign, you've got more options this time. There's like a level where you can kind of determine which houses you want to scour through to find, to try and rescue this guy. But still, it's a lot of like, you go into an area, enemies pop up behind the same things.
Whereas if you start off on the normal difficulty, you're going through for the first time, you don't know what the parameters are, you don't know the exact way to solve it, and you don't know where the enemies are coming from. And that's kind of the better challenge, I thought. And it's kind of a backfire if they recommend that you play on the hard difficulty, because the hard difficulty, you will be repeating this stuff because you're learning it. You're like trying to find the solution for the scene. If you're going to play through it first on normal.
Oh, definitely.
And enjoy it. And then you challenge yourself.
95% of the time, the solutions are fun to find. The combat is really good.
Absolutely.
You know, Crispin was talking about how the guys always pop in the same spot. They always pop in the same spot, but especially in the open areas, where they move after that is not completely determined. I mean,
Right.
sometimes they'll flank. They use good maneuvering.
They'll react to what you do. So if
They
you change up
completely react.
your tactics, then they'll change it up. But he's right in that it always starts off at the same thing.
So that's the high point, is when the scenes work, when the solutions work, you get that great cinematic experience. But when they don't, like you said, the backfire is complete and total failure. So
Especially on the harder
yeah,
difficulty.
and because you don't know what you're trying to do, you don't know what the solution points are, you don't know what's going to trigger the end of the end or the I win moment, and that's really a drag, especially when you're just pounding and pounding and pounding, like, oh my god, I have to do this again.
The objective variations I thought were really well done too, because you are destroying like tanks and you're calling in airstrikes, but it's always under different circumstances, and you always like, sometimes you're on the offensive, sometimes you're like on the defensive trying to survive, and it always feels like it's something fresh.
Well, there's so much variety in the levels. I mean, because, you know, like the past games, you play from different nations' perspectives. But in this one, you're kind of going after a similar goal, and you're like leapfrogging all around the country. But there was one level that I really liked, where you spend it's like after a helicopter crash, and you're trying to escape from enemy territory. So you spend the first part of the level trying to escape. And then the next level, you're in a C-130 gunship, one of the most realistic levels I've ever seen in a game. Like, if you go on YouTube or whatever and watch footage from, you know, the Middle East or whatever, and then you play this level, you're like, wow, that's really realistic. And, you know, it's got the whitewashed graphics, and you see the little guys running around. And
Mentally, it was such a change of pace. That was my favorite part of the game too.
Yeah.
Is that it's such a change of pace, and it happens right after this really intense series of firefights.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're just chilling, like on a gunship, and it's like, oh, there's some guys. Kill them.
Good kill, good kill. There's armed personnel running out of the church. Get that person. Get back on those guys. Okay, he's moving again. Kaboom.
yeah.
Well, and the radio chatter is what
Yeah.
sells it the most. Is,
Oh, yeah.
oh, there's another one. Wasted him.
Bingo.
I'm thinking to myself, like 5 minutes ago, I was watching these guys with blood and crap flying everywhere, and now it's like, oh, there's another. Oh, frag them good.
And you can totally feel yourself getting relaxed, like relaxing after the firefight.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost
oh,
like
God.
I'm in this, like, I feel like now I'm in this air-conditioned airplane, just manning turrets, blasting guys, and everyone's relaxed, everyone's making, like, cracking jokes, you're blowing guys up. But it's just so crazy because you're actually defending your guys on the ground who you were playing in the level before. So it's like such a, you know, in terms of, like, trying to present what modern warfare is like, I mean, I think it does a cool job of showing, like, the different sides of it.
Yeah.
You know, in the prior Call of Duties, they had the 3 disparate sections, but here, much like they have the C-130 part tied into the squad that was on the ground, they also tied the 2 stories together well, so you feel like you're part of this global conflict.
Right.
Bravo 6, we're taking heavy fire on our position north of the overpass! Where the hell are you? We're almost there. Hang on.
You know, people have seen how pretty the game looks, and you can see that in all the videos, but what you might not have gotten a chance to really get into is how good the sound is in the game. It totally shocked me to be inside buildings, especially in 5.1, and not just hear the gunfire and what's going on outside, but hear jets with the Doppler effect going over outside and occluded by the roof, like sounding one way as the jets are going by. I hear the Doppler effect. I walk through the doorway, and the sound is different because I'm no longer enclosed.
And it lasts as it flies over. The sound lasts and lingers for a full 30 seconds to a minute after it goes by, just like you would hear like the Blue Angel flying over.
It's amazing sound design. It also got to the point where by the end of the game I didn't have to look at my weapon. I knew from the sound of the firing pin and the report of the gun, I knew exactly what I was carrying all the time just from that.
Just total complete polish, audio visual, 60 frames per second. It would hitch a little bit in the rougher airstrikes and big firefights, but almost flawless, I think.
Yeah, pretty amazing engine. Pretty amazing engine.
That's funny aside. I think we were all playing this the weekend that the Blue Angels were here.
Yeah.
Yes.
During the Fleet Week, so it kind of added to the authenticity. And that might have been what you were hearing, but I don't know.
So that's what was rattling the windows. Oh man, I knew that was
Rocky
real.
Like a Hurricane was playing the entire time. That's an interesting music choice for them.